let's talk about freelancing, right? Now, when it comes to freelancing, how is it different from a job? How is it different from working at Amazon or Microsoft? Now, when you're working for a company like Amazon or Microsoft or any of these startups or companies, you're committed to them, right? When you sign up, you have to sign a contract saying, hey, whatever CTC is there, it's going to be vested for the next 3-4 years, and that's how I'm going to get paid. This is the fixed salary. These are the things I'm expected to do, and it's a commitment. It's like a marriage that you're saying for the next 3-4 years, I'm going to do this. And once you start working for a particular company, the amount of opportunities that you can pursue beyond the particular company is very less. You can't go and start a shop because there'll be a lot of time conflict management, and then you can't start an e-commerce site if you're working for Amazon, because they'll be like, hey, it's conflict of interest, ye to hamare sath hi compete kar raha hai, right? And that'll lead to a lot of issues. Now, freelancing is a bit different from working for a company, because here you don't have a commitment to someone. You can work for multiple people at the same time. You're sort of self-employed, right? So I can work. I can be a graphic designer for a company like Microsoft, and I can also be a graphic designer for someone like Flipkart, because I'm doing essentially the same task for multiple people. And I think that's the general thesis of freelancing. It's being self-employed and working for a bunch of people, and mostly it's like remote, so you aren't formally employed, but you're just contributing to their work in a particular space. So that's what essentially freelancing is.
Yeah, what are your advices for someone who has just been introduced to this concept of
Mm-hmm.
freelancing
Mm-hmm.
and who is at its very nascent stage, probably?
Yeah. So, like freelancing is pretty interesting in term, like especially for college students, because you might have heard people say, right, कि college और industry में बहुत disconnect है.
Yeah,
College graduates unemployable, like कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है when they, enter the industry, and that's very true. In fact, like, take an example of any company. Say TCS is hiring, right? What does TCS do the moment it hires students from a college? It trains them for say 6 months to a year, right? It unlearns them. It makes them unlearn things that they learned in school and college. They're like, dude, this is not something very relevant. We need to teach you some additional stuff. Like, how many people do you think, like, somewhere I was reading a stat that said 60% of computer science engineers cannot write a single piece of code. They can't like build a software piece, right? Which is quite disappointing, because if
yeah,
you have a degree and if you can't build products, or if you can't actually use those skills to contribute to the world, then it's kind of pointless. And that's where I find freelancing is super interesting, and it's something that college students should try out. It helps you get a taste of the industry from a very young age, right from your first year of college. If you're just trying, you can get to meet so many cool people. You can get to meet get to interact with some of the top folks out there. You'll know how startups function, how other how do you interact with clients, how do you send cold emails, how do you talk to someone over the phone, how do you how does system design work, how do you build an actual product and ship it out, how do you build a team, how do you work with people. There are so many of these really cool stuff that you can learn right from the beginning at college, and that will equip you with a lot of skills which will be useful out there in the industry when you go out. So that's my advice for people. Start out really soon. It's not necessary. When you're in college, you don't have any liability, right? Your parents are paying your fees anyway, or
yeah.
you have 4 years of free time. So just take up some Udemy courses, or just do some googling, find out what you're good at, experiment with a lot of skills. It's not that you have to stick to one thing. And then maybe if that works out, then try reaching out to a bunch of people and see if you can work for them. And that'll be my advice. So don't be mediocre at something. Try picking up some skill and utilize that time.